This is part 1 of a collaborative podcast. When the video is over, make sure to go and check the description for the playlist in order to watch the rest of the podcast. Hello, and welcome to the Green Room Podcast. I'm Black Chestnut, and with me I have...
Moose, the wet owl.
Sully the light nerd.
Hello, I'm Fearcrafter, and I make Furies, mostly brain route stuff, but some serious stuff too.
And this me, Weep Strangler, actually now known as Kiwimora. I make rarely Furies and sometimes art.
Yep, that's great that everybody's themselves, you know? That's a really good thing. I think that's important to be yourself.
So true.
Yes.
Yes.
But today, we're going to be talking about the Deltarune Summer 2024 newsletter, more or less. And since it's mostly focused on, Chapter 3 and 4's potential upcoming release, that's what we're going to be doing.
Very good said.
So I suppose it's best to start at the top of the newsletter,
Who should read it?
Someone that's not me.
Yes, sure, I'll do it. Oh.
No, I'll do it.
Go ahead, my Swedish friend.
Undertale/Deltarune Summer 2024 Newsletter. Deltarune Progress Update. Hi everyone! Deltarune Chapter 4 is making great overall progress. I forgot to say that there's some gif of Toriel in summer clothes walking with an annoying dog in her basket. As the time of writing this, 7/23/2024, all the maps are done. All battles are playable. Only 2 cutscenes need small improvement. Our battle needs to be balanced and the visuals need to be completed. 1 battle needs a better background. 2 battles are having their ending sequence improved. There are still some things to fix and places to polish. 3 of my friends were able to play through the entirety of the unfinished chapter. All of them liked it and didn't have any major criticisms. Phew! Except for one friend who kept mentioning that I should name all of the shares because of the existence of Shariel. Implies that all other shares should have names as well. I'm probably not going to do that. I'm not sure if Chapter 2 is still the longest chapter, but Chapter 3 and 4 together are definitely longer than 1 and 2 combined. Thinking about that is kind of crazy. Initial development of Chapter 5 is also progressing steadily. Most of the team is still focusing on Chapter 4, but a few people are going ahead and creating an initial draft of Chapter 5's maps, working on bullet patterns, etc. And then there's Sans and Papyrus in swimming clothes.
Beautiful. Oh, also, for a clarification, we are all track freaks here, right?
Yeah, of course.
Pretty much, yeah.
At least.
Amazing. So yeah, honestly, I am very impressed by how, in little time, in 3 months, Toby did a lot. Pretty much completed polishing.
Yeah, it's very surprising that they got so much, at least probably so much in a relatively amount of time.
Yeah, it really does. You go first.
Yeah, it kind of felt like Chapter 3 took almost 2 years, and then this was 6 months.
Yeah, I just think that Toby Fox
much it.
really knew what he was doing in Chapter 4, but for Chapter 3 it was like a bumpy ride with a development sort of purgatory.
We could also pinpoint it at the fact that in Chapter 3 he was working on 3 chapters simultaneously, which did partly mean that he wasn't doing as much progress on Chapter 4, but also that he had a kind of head start when he began focusing on Chapter 4.
Yeah, to me it seems like most of it is done, at least game-wise. It's just that all of the stuff that we're probably going to mention later needs to be done.
Yeah, there's 100% chance that this August, I think everything is gonna get finished with this stuff.
I mean, those last stuff that they need to do for Chapter 4 specifically, it's so little that I could honestly, I feel like that's maybe 2 weeks of work, honestly. Specifically,
yeah, maybe
just finishing this list, not counting the extra bug fixing and localization and stuff.
Yeah,
but there's also
you go first.
Okay. There's also the console ports, which will be kind of time consuming probably.
Yeah, console ports are pretty hard when it comes to like bugs that spawn out of this.
Yeah, but just this specific list that's on the first like page, it's like
Yeah,
that's like probably 2 weeks of work, honestly.
yes, it's really not a lot.
Yeah, I mean, like chapter 3, I feel like took so long just because it went through like some crazy development hell.
Yeah,
mean,
I
it feels
really
like
do think
Toby
so too.
didn't know what he really wanted to do with it, and then on top of that, they kept making features and then scrapping them, which obviously eats up a ton of development time.
Yeah,
You know?
like
I mean,
he
like
showed
we've
us.
already showed off 2 different cut concepts.
Yeah,
of,
like the
stuff.
cowboys and the
the
sneaking.
stealth.
I mean, the
stealth segment,
cowboys. I
yeah.
mean, friend inside me is real, so I don't think the cowboys are that cut.
Woody theory.
It's real, guys. It's real.
And one thing I would like to point out, chapter 4 is probably mostly done, and I feel, but I feel like he's been mostly quiet about this because of so many promises he's made in chapter 3, which were presumably scrapped.
Yes, I actually did want to say something about this. It really feels like he's intentionally not wanting to like tell us how much like proud he is or like his accomplishments. It's just that it's getting done.
Yeah, he's been pretty vague on that sort of thing.
Toby Fox is incredibly vague. He even says it in the newsletter that his writing in game is intentionally vague. It's like the opposite of Andrew Hussey. If you don't know Homestuck, Andrew Hussey is incapable of being brief. He just has to be verbose about everything. And then there's Toby that wants to be as mysterious for no reason.
I mean, like,
Okay.
when it comes to, like, actual development updates, I much prefer what Toby's doing compared to, well, honestly, most developers
That
who
is
either
true.
just lie to
Yeah,
your face or say literally nothing, you know?
Yeah, or
especially Valve. Like, Valve is like zero communication unless they're
yeah,
getting
absolutely.
harassed.
I mean, there are also some devs that would probably just like show half the gameplay on Twitter of Chapter 3.
I
Really?
feel like the vagueness of Toby, both in and out of game, is like the cost of 50% of all the ROM in this community, though.
Yeah, I mean,
Like,
the meme currently is just like giving random letters when Toby tweets and just making random nonsense with it.
Yeah.
yeah, but even in game, it's like it doesn't say like it's like for example, Chris Knight. There's enough evidence to say, oh, it's a confirmation, but at the same time, there's not enough so that everybody can agree that there's a confirmation. Even I am not entirely sure if it's if Chris is the Knight.
Yeah. And just the way that Toby Fox is like so vague about everything, and not only that, but like you know the Free Dat stream during the anniversary? I'm sure there was some sort of like list of stuff they just couldn't talk about, like Gaster.
Yeah, Toby
Oh, yeah, there's
never mentions
definitely, like,
anything
a
about
list.
Gaster.
Yeah, yeah.
Even the weird route is like not acknowledged at all out of game. Like
There's
no song appearing
yes,
in
there, it's
soundtrack.
actually the Snowgrave route is actually acknowledged one time outside of
In
Deltarune.
sticker.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
No, not the sticker. I'm not the sticker where Noel says it's not like you. In that rhythm game that Toby Fox like helped develop or like put songs in, there are 3 difficulties with Big Shot, and the hardest one is the ending in Snowgrave where he gets frozen.
Really, I don't know what this is. I've never heard of it.
I don't
I
remember. It
heard-
was in the newsletters, right? The rhythm game.
Yeah, I heard about the collab, but I didn't know if it was finished or anything.
I remember seeing a video specifically of what you're talking about, like on Twitter or something. So I definitely know what you're talking about. I've seen
Yeah.
the rhythm game and that specific segment with the Spampton Neo in Snowgird fight.
Oh yeah, I remember Toby was making a song for a game or whatever, and it was like
The
whatever.
dog bonk, the dogs at the toy hammer
Yeah,
factory. Yeah.
Should
Alright.
we keep reading or
Yes, we should move to
Can
So
I
What?
add a point?
Let's move something.
Because
Do you want to read So What?
I really dislike how people shit on Toby for being vague or something. Because, like, have you seen Silk Song or Geometry Dash? Like, Rob Top didn't say anything about 2.2. He was, like, dead silent.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think Toby's really being that vague at all. I think he's pretty.
Yeah, I mean,
being
compared
pretty
to other
forward.
compared to Silk
Like,
Song.
this is very honest. It has a lot of juicy information. I mean, like, we're doing a whole podcast on it, right? It's like, if there wasn't
Yeah.
Yeah,
information to
just
talk
sitting
about,
here.
we wouldn't be here.
Look at this spent on sweepstakes, for example.
Yeah, it was a lot of stuff. But yeah, honest. Okay, so I think I was pretty high on copium because I thought this newsletter is gonna release like. I'm okay. It's not like thinking; it's more like wishful thinking. There's gonna be like Tenna silhouette or some sort of dialogue line. That would be so fucking cool. But yeah, Toby Fox really loves being vague.
Okay, so should I keep reading?
Yeah, you can go ahead.
Okay. So What by Shugshaka. Chapter 4 is basically playable, minus some polish. So, it must seem like Chapter 3 and 4 are going to come out really soon, right? There's also some gif of the fun gang. It says
Eating
that Noel
beard
has
Sid and Chris with actual personality. Thank you, Toby.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Put
saw a lot of
Sid
fan
on
art of that actually,
specifically.
and Alpha is pretty good.
Yeah,
Um,
and also we finally have a confirmation that Chris is a gremlin without the soul.
100%.
Okay, keep reading.
Actually, the release is still far away. We've gotten 3 months closer, but it's still far. Why? How does that horrible, despair-inducing, teeth-gnashing fact that keeps me up at night make any sense at all? I want them out now! But I'll tell you. And then there's a sprite of Alfie.
Here's Alfie's just on a roll in exercise. That's a
what
beautiful
left?
sprite, by the way. I really like how Alfie's head looks like here, like just the lack of neck. It's great.
But one thing specifically about this, I've seen a lot of people bring this up specifically to be like, oh, well, the chapters aren't coming out this year. But I don't agree with that, specifically because if they weren't planned to release this year, I feel like Toby would have said that outright. You know?
Yeah.
The fact that he's saying it's far away, but not like, oh, by the way, it's not coming out this year. If they have like a planned release and stuff, if the planned release was before this year, I think he would have just said that, you know?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the fact, like, whether it releases this year or not is pretty much dependent on, like, stuff outside of Toby's control, like the game change update, like, whether it's buggy or not.
Yeah, I don't know if we want to go into this for now, but my prediction is like late this year, early next year, like the last 2 months of this year, early 2 months of next year, you know?
I predict, like, I predict Christmas to keep with the theme of each release being some sort of, like, holiday or special occasion.
Yeah, I'm thinking Christmas is a pretty good guess.
Also, one thing I noticed about the Alfie sprite is that there's that small marathon with the umbrella.
With the umbrella, yeah, it's very cute. I really do hope Metaton shows up in Deltarune. Damn.
So does that mean that after Alfie's escaped from the underground, she began her weight loss arc or something? I don't know.
She's getting ripped to impress Undyne.
Right, she's doing it with Papyrus, remember?
Yeah, and she's drinking evil green goop.
That's just American energy drinks.
American energy drinks are just like evil green goop.
Yes, exactly that.
Exactly.
The tastiest American drink be like.
Look, you gotta understand, I live in America. There's a reason why I literally only drink water, because if you drink anything else from America that isn't water, it's literally poison.
It's contaminated. Alright, so yeah, you can go keep reading, Sully.
Okay. What's left before release? That's right! Creating the chapters is only the first step. Releasing the chapters is a whole other deal. And then there's a cute little sprite or gif of like, is Rolsey burning alive?
Rosa is on fire. They didn't put him out, they just baked dark
Ralsei
candy.
set himself on fire in order for Chris and Susie to cook. You know.
Yeah, fire magic is definitely confirmed. For
Actually, I want to comment
Ralsei
about this.
has so little self-worth that he will literally set himself on fire to warm others. That's how that's how
this
he is.
This is depressingly canon.
Actually, I wanted to quickly comment about this. I don't know if anyone else realized. I'm pretty sure they're roasting dark candies, which someone said, I can't remember what character, said tasted like marshmallows.
Yes, I think it's Susie that says it when you feed it to her in the menu, I think.
Yeah, so they're roasting marshmallows on Ralsei.
Yeah, pretty much. Or according to Lancer, cooking disintegrating teeth on Lancer. This is a beloved line of mine. Like, oh ho ho, it tastes like friendship. What's that taste like? Oh, my teeth are burning.
That made me crack up so hard when I first saw it.
Yeah, it's a great
That's
line. I
actually
love.
not good.
Yeah, that's not good actually. That's chapter like okay, chapter 2 is very like much like better overall quality wise, but like chapter 1 has such a cool vibe to it. Like this kind
I
of
disagree.
whimsical fairy tale vibe.
Like, I don't want to criticize chapter 2, but I feel like chapter 1 had more original jokes, but like half of the jokes in chapter 2 are just a freaking explosion.
Yeah, that fuck us explosion.
I mean, chapter
I
2
mean,
is very
it's
much like
funny,
the
but-
internet meme chapter, you know? It's like we gotta get all the memes out of the way.
Yeah,
here.
like explosions and like cuts or something like that. Yeah.
Toby's humor is
But
going downhill.
it's going downhill. Chapter 3 is gonna be like half explosions.
Toby Fox is going to be half as brain rotted as we are by the end.
Yeah, Susie's gonna say, Noel, what the Sigma are you doing?
But by the way, I
See-
find it interesting how in the Rolsey Fire Sprite, this time Susie is concerned but not Rolsey. That's unusual.
I don't think she's concerned. I just think she wants to eat the
Susie is
candy.
Even if Susie is concerned, she's still like taking advantage of it by like.
No,
using
it's
to-
controlled fire magic for sure.
It's a dark candy.
Okay, jokes aside, do you actually think Raze will learn fire magic?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, me too. Like maybe in some sort of like cool fight against the knight or something.
No,
I mean,
Toriel's just
isn't-
gonna teach him.
Ah,
Oh
He's
yeah,
a
that
goat.
does make sense too. Yeah.
Isn't fire magic kind of Susie's things? I know her axe is like on
No,
fire.
she has root buster, but the
Yeah, she has
root bust-
root-based magic.
Yeah, it's root elemental magic. It's not really explained well, but I'm assuming
Ah.
chapter 3 is gonna go like in detail with elements.
When she becomes a paladin in like chapter 5, all of her rude-based spells will turn into kindness-based spells, and
So
it'll turn
peak.
into a kind buster with the description reading "Kill them with kindness."
That's so peak. And
kind
it's like,
buster.
yeah, it's just gonna like increase their like spare percent.
It's like she's still causing harm, but at least now she's doing it with good intentions instead
Yeah,
of evil intentions.
she's
Yeah,
killing
it
people,
still
but
does damage. It doesn't like
It's-
spare them.
it still does damage, but it feels like pillows.
Do I continue reading?
Yes, you can continue.
It wouldn't be such a big deal if the game was free. But since this is going to be our first big paid release since Undertale, we really have to take the extra time to make sure it's perfect. Our goal is simultaneous console and PC release in both English and Japanese. So, what do we have to do? Well, it's long, so click below if you're curious.
Let's
Should we
first
do
go-
that first? Or...
No, closing thoughts. Let's complete this page first.
Okay.
Alright.
So there's a big ass fan.
Yeah, she's a big
kind of
metal
like in
fan.
Undertale yellow. And then it's blowing on online, I guess.
Wait, oh my god, I didn't realize. Yeah, that is like Undertale yellow.
Thank you guys so much for your patience. I am
Monumentally.
thankful to everyone still waiting while we get over this final hill before the release of chapters 3 and 4. The release of 3 and 4. With the progress on chapter 5, I'm feeling confident that chapter 3 and 4 come out. That once chapter 3 and 4 come out, the release schedule of the following chapters will be a lot smoother. It's still going to take a good while to get there, but once we do, you'll never have to wait so long for a chapter ever again. So that's nice, you know.
Yeah, but I'm not sure if I'm gonna trust him on this one. Maybe some other like issues will come up with like chapter 7 because he wants it to be perfect or something like that.
Yeah, what do you all think? Will chapter 5 and 6 be paired together and then 7?
That
or
is
do you
a-
think
Yeah.
they're all going to be paired?
That is a good
Probably.
question. I think it depends actually. Because if chapter 6 is like some people presume like is the spooky Gaster chapter, then I highly doubt Toby will release it alongside 5 because nobody is gonna look at 5. Like
If,
everybody's gonna be
5
focused on Gaster.
5 is gonna be
personally, I feel
first.
like,
I imagine
I feel like
since he wanted to have it stop at 5 anyway, he's just gonna release 5 on its own.
Yeah.
Because that would be a
Yeah.
good
He's
gonna
stopping
drop
point
5,
anyway.
That too.
and then 5, and then 6 and 7. Yeah.
yeah,
the
I
same
think that I think his name was like Pretender or something like that. He made a video predicting when each chapter will release. It's like chapter 5 will likely be the climax of 3 and 4 or something like that.
Yeah, like oh yeah,
point
it was
section.
the video where it said that Deltarune is like split in 3 acts, and chapter 1 and 2 are the first act, 3 and 5 are the second, and 6 or 7 are the third act, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes the most sense. Yeah, absolutely.
Any more thoughts?
Hold on a second. How much do you guys think the game will cost? Like,
Oh yeah, that's a good
$50,
question.
we all agreed on that.
I just hope that it's not like. Do you think it's going to be chapter for chapter 4, 3, and 4? Just going to be like $50, and then like
You have the
free
full game?
DLC, or will you have to like pay for it individually?
I hope you can.
think the entire game will be one package. I believe that Toby said
Yeah.
that chapters 1 and 2 are only free right now, and then will become a part of 3 to 5.
Yeah,
So, like,
I'm pretty sure that chapter 2 is gonna add to the money, because I think that Toby Fox even stated before that, he made it free due to COVID-19, but it's gonna be paid with the full release. So I think that chapter 2 is gonna make the game a little bit more expensive.
But chapter 1
It's gonna be free.
is gonna be free.
Yes.
So that's good to get more people into the game, right?
Yes, yes.
I think 1 and 2 are gonna stay a demo, but like they're
Yeah,
also
it's
getting
gonna stay a demo.
factored in to the full release. It's like when you buy a game, that happens to have a demo, you're buying the full game that the demo is included, unless the demo is like a unique thing that's separate, because sometimes they'll do that,
Oh, very important question. Are we gonna talk about that HoloLive thing?
Maybe briefly at the end.
Okay, sure. So we're gonna move to the quests, right?
no, we need to talk about the glorious Spamton getting tortured by a
Oh yeah,
campfire.
as the Moose titled. Moose, how did you call him? Go ahead.
Spamtum sweepstake.
He's great. I love his fucking rotisserie chicken Spamton.
Okay,
He's being
but who,
cannibalized by the other AdSense.
Oh my god.
yeah, I was going to say, who
On
do you
the
think is
firewall.
treading that thing?
Me. It's me. I want to kill Spamton.
You know what's really funny about Spamton? I'm like, the first time I played chapter 2, like the second he jumped out of the dumpster, I immediately assessed him as evil. And I was like, okay, I'm killing this guy. It's like, I was doing a pacifist run up until this point, but I am not letting this guy into my goddamn castle town. He's dying right here and now. And I completely missed his side quest because I didn't read any of his dialogue and I just went straight to kill him.
just like tunnel vision, like a predator, like kill Spamton. That's so funny.
I'm killing you. I'm killing you. I don't give a shit about anything else. I don't give about anything. My mode programming is just get that guy right now.
I can't believe you killed Dark World Jerma.
And I don't know if this is a good time to bring it up now, but not just this newsletter, but like the other newsletters. Do you think any of the sprites seen in there will appear in the game?
No. Because like all of them are seasonal, so like the spring one was flowers, this one is like campfires and swimming, the autumn one is like Halloween costumes, so I don't think so.
What
think-
about that random concept art where like Burley was using a big ass leaf?
Oh, Fanning Noel? No, I think
Yeah.
that's concept art for the newsletter, because he does concept art for the newsletter. Like on Twitter he posted the Spamton sweepstake concept art.
Yeah, Birdly with the
Okay.
leaf was used in the summer newsletter from last
Yeah,
year.
it was. I don't, unless there's gonna be some sort of beach episode in chapter 4, like Alfie's predicted. You know that line in
Yeah.
Undertale?
But that
in
doesn't
chapter
make
4
sense
they
because
all
it's
go
in
to the beach.
autumn.
I mean, maybe, I don't know. I know people that would swim in autumn, like me.
Yeah, I think that like some of the ones might, because like obviously we saw like the guy dancing and the couple whatever, but apart from that, like maybe 1 or 2 we might see. But apart from that, yeah, no.
Yeah, Chris is one of those freaks who wears a sweater in the summer by
Oh,
a
like me.
campfire.
Literally me. I walked around a hot ass convention in a sweater all day, and I felt nothing.
But you're literally Chris. Like,
I am
what
Chris.
you talking?
I have their hair. I have their clothes. I'm a freak. I'm a gremlin. I'm Chris.
You're literally Chris.
They're literally me, and I mean it. Both of us are even
Just
possessed by an
want to do
eldritch time entity.
Actually, I know somebody who is even more Chris, but
I need to-
out of the people here.
I need to kill them to assert dominance. There may be only one real life Chris.
Well, then you'll kill literally Chris, so you know that do you really want to kill Chris?
I mean, if they're really Chris, they can just like respawn.
True.
The
Exactly.
ending of Deltarune involves Chris becoming real in real life.
Yeah,
Toby just hires a paid actor to be Chris.
yeah. If you do like, yeah, I actually like my dad works at Toby Fox, and like he said to me that during the Snowgrave ending, a guy dressed up as Chris is gonna come to your house and beat the fuck out of you. Absolutely real. Oh yeah. So are we gonna do we're gonna talk about the quests now?
Yep, we're gonna talk
It
about the
feels like
quest
we are
now.
moving really fast, but I guess
The quest
No,
is where
we're-
most of the information is.
Yeah. Besides, we will still
Okay.
talk about stuff like after we read the newsletter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Quest to release chapter 3 and 4. Quest 1, Guinea Pig Syndrome. That's right, the first quest we have to clear regardless of any way that we want to release anything. We have to be the guinea pig for a brand new function of GameMaker. Here it's a missed opportunity. They should have used the Bing instead of the dog, because you know he has a hamster wheel in his.
Oh my
present
god,
library.
yeah, that's a good point. He has this like royal hamster wheel.
Have we
Uh,
ever seen Temmie
um,
actually draw a king?
Yeah, I meant to ask that too as well. I don't think we ever saw like King by Temmie, right? Let me look. Yeah, no, I don't think so. I think she never ever drew King. I mean, after all, King is drawn by Canotines, not her.
Yeah, I figured that like she has like a rule where she refuses to draw a king.
I know she has a thing for like muscles, right?
Muscles are not
Temmie?
cute.
Yeah, no, Temmie. No, but she does like hot demon guys or something.
What?
Yeah, it's in the library where, like, in chapter 1, I think, or chapter 2, you go up to her in the library and she's like, Tam works hard for the project. And you look at it and it's like pictures of hot demon guys.
Kiwi, just so you know, your voice for Temmie sucks.
I
I
never
think-
ever did a voice for Temmie, so sorry.
Okay. Anyways. Or do I continue reading?
Yeah, you can go ahead unless you don't want to.
Okay. Yes, Yo-Yo Games, the creator of our engine, GameMaker, are adding a special new function to it just for us. This is a new it says command for GameMaker called Game Change. It allows you to separately launch different games you have created in GameMaker and even works on console. That means we can create each chapter as an independent game project and swap between them using this function.
Ooh, we love Game Change. We're Game Change fans.
Yeah, I mean, this will allow the game to run smoother, allow it to be easier to develop and work with. So it's something that we won't
Yeah.
visibly see much of because it's it's something in the background where we're not going to notice it because it's working.
Yeah, but I just continue.
To me, it seems more like not something that'll give us a brand new future, but just something to speed up progress, or and maybe load times too. I don't know. Or maybe
Yeah,
like
Toby
increase-
mentions more down below, so
Okay.
Honestly, as the person that is doing Deltarune Polish translation, I just really hope it makes it easier for me to translate. Because like for chapter 1 files, there's a notepad file. But for chapter 2, I have to go into the data win file on the mod tools and edit each line separately.
Yeah, it should affect that.
Yeah, I really, really freaking hope so.
For Chapter 1 and 2 demo, we initially committed to the strange act of smashing both chapters together into one game project. It wasn't such an issue with only 2 chapters, but as the game progresses, doing something like that will become more and more troublesome. That didn't give us anything new to talk about, I believe. I
Continue.
reading. Here's the kind of trouble that could arise if we didn't have game_change. When editing the combined project, we wouldn't know if anything during the process might have inadvertently affected anything
Excuse me, how did you just pronounce inadvertently? Could you
What
repeat
word?
that? The hard one,
Inadvertently.
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 You fool.
What?
You butchered that hardly. Can I speak?
Okay.
Inadvertently affected anything at any point in the game. So, each time we patched any chapter, we would have to test all the chapters over again. Okay, you can go.
Yeah. GameMaker would potentially be slow to run the game with content on a scale of 3 chapters or more. Isn't Deltarune like kind of a small game? Is GameMaker just designed for smaller games or something? I don't know.
I mean Deltarune is super like small. I don't think it's even gonna be a gigabyte large when the chapter 7 releases.
Damn.
I mean, what is Undertale, like 700 megabytes?
I think so, yeah.
Something like that.
It is worth keeping in mind that GameMaker as an engine is fairly limited. You can only do 2D projects, it's only so many features. It's designed to be easy and simple to use so that anyone, specifically Toby Fox, could make a game.
Yes.
Is he a bad programmer?
Oh, Toby Fox is awful. This guy struggles hard to making a game.
Yeah,
We all love Toby Fox. He's a great designer, great writer, great programmer, a great musician, but like his programming skills are they leave a lot to be desired.
Hey, you can't do everything.
I mean, yeah, absolutely. Like I'm not trashing on him. I'm not a good programmer either, but yeah, did you know that chapter 1 cutscenes were made using if-else statements?
Of course. What else are you going to use?
That is hellish. Go ahead. Sorry.
On the player side, initial loading of the game will potentially take longer and longer as we add more chapters. Anyway, the point is, with this command, we have solutioned all those issues. With one caveat. This new function is, well, brand new. It has never been tested broadly on many computers platforms before. Therefore, we would soon like to ask for your help testing it. It's estimated GameMaker will be updated with the new command within the next few weeks. At that time, we'll put out a new version of Chapter 1 and 2 that uses along with some more detailed instruction about testing. For future updates on this topic, just keep your eyes on the official Undertale Twitter. And here's a reference to me specifically because I deleted the Twitter app. And Toby Fox must have known that, even if I only had like 40 followers.
The most
In
beautiful
case you don't have
line.
a Twitter account, I'm happy for you.
It's so peak how he wrote that. It's even peaker how he didn't write X.
I also feel like the worst part about the name change is that using X as like the variable is now hella confusing. Like if I say X media, before it'd be like, oh, any media. But now people might believe, oh, media on the platform X.
Before we move on, do we want to actually say anything else on the first part, the game change?
I mean, it seems like a good function to like speed up process and make the game.
I mean, it's also just pretty cool to see just like, GameMaker doing something specifically for Toby. I mean, GameMaker is not the best engine. I feel like Toby is their greatest add.
Yeah, honestly, yeah.
Yeah, GameMaker is pretty hard.
Toby is like more famous than GameMaker as a whole anyway, so it's not like, oh, what an accomplishment, Toby! You changed GameMaker all by yourself.
True. No, I just mean that GameMaker is probably gonna do just everything to keep Toby. Because it's pretty hard to use.
There's only like so many notable GameMaker games.
Implement 3D elements just for you. Please, just don't leave us.
Please, Toby, please stay with us.
Yeah, but I mean, there's only so many notable GameMaker games. You know, there's like Undertale, there's Hyper Light Drifter. I think Chicory, a Wonderful Tale, was made on GameMaker. I think. I might be wrong on that. Okay, this part is over. Remember to go find the playlist in the description.